missing free throws uncharacteristically? Was it just their style of play wears people down, affects your leg, all that? Would you buy into that fatigue? You don't buy it?
I know. I mean, I kind of started with me because, I mean, I really don't miss free throws like that, but just focus.
No, I don't believe that. We practice hard every day. We just like they play hard, we play hard every day. We come at everybody, we come with pressure. So fatigue was not it. It was just one of those nights for us. I want to say I stepped up and I missed 2. It's just a mental thing, stepping up, staying focused, not thinking about the free throws you just missed. Step up and make the next ones.
For either of you guys, when you guys had that cold stretch offensively in the second half, it seemed like they pressed you guys, but once you guys got across half court, they sort of backed off a little bit. Was it harder to get the points you guys were getting in the paint because of what they were doing?
I mean, kind of not really. I feel like we kind of played like sped up a little bit, at times during that drought. So
I feel like we just didn't stay aggressive. They back off. I mean, that means they're in retreat, so we should have just kept going. We
should have attacked more.
Yeah, I don't think we lost our aggression. Starting with me, I didn't play as aggressive as I did in the first half, and I mean that was the big part.
What do you think made that difference with the loss of momentum in the second half? Do you think you all just got tired, or do you think their press defense just got to you enough?
I mean, fatigue. I mean, I wouldn't say that was a reason. I think we kind of started slowing down. Just as a whole, I thought and like stuff like that. But I wouldn't really say fatigue was really like a factor for us.
And I know last season when West Virginia came to Gallagher and played, after that the other day Brandon Averett had said that was like the most embarrassing game that he played with that loss. And I feel like with this game, even though it was a loss, it's not really the same thing because like the points that you all scored in the first half were the most that WVU had allowed in the first half this season. So it was, what would you say as far as the overall outcome of the game? Like, even though you lost, do you view it the same as the loss last season, or how do you think it's different?
I look at it just as a learning experience. We came out, played good first half, and I feel like we didn't execute like we should have in the second half. And we just have to find a way to put the two halves together to play a good game. It's good. We're gonna play good opponents every night, so we're just gonna have to find a way to finish out a game.
Considering what they are defensively, did you think you had y'all's best half? First half tonight. Considering what West Virginia is defensively, do you feel like that was y'all's best half?
I just felt like a regular half to me.
Two halves to a game.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you can't really just be like, oh, that was a good half, and then just worry about the first half and not finish the game in the second half.
What did you guys do well in the first half to get the lead?
Just being aggressive. That was it. They bring pressure, get out of pressure, make plays.
When you guys miss one free throw or miss 2, is there a carryover effect? Do you think that you kind of let one, kind of sit with you and that sort of snowballed, or?
I mean, for me, I just wasn't, focused. I thought, I mean, it felt good. I mean, like, they all felt good. It's just they just really didn't go in for me, so.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, fellas.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Free throws weren't the reason. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to make a statement, Mike. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to say welcome to the Big 12. But, yeah, obviously, really good effort by our guys. Proud of that. But, and I told this to them in the locker room, great effort isn't good enough in this league. It's just not. And that's got to be a given. But in this league, in order to win, you have to make winning plays. You have to win the game. West Virginia won the game. And to their credit, they made the plays necessary even when we had some momentum and even when it seemed like we were able to kind of keep them on their heels to never get discouraged. And then when they made their run, we fought back, but we didn't make enough plays to win. We made enough plays to keep it close, but that's not acceptable. That's not good enough. We got to get better, and that starts with me.
Shine had mentioned that in the second half he felt like everything really slowed down and the team wasn't being as aggressive, and that was what made the big difference in the loss. Do you agree with that, and what do you think the reason was for that kind of slowdown in the second half?
I try not to make too many judgments until I can go back and watch the film, but obviously they slowed us down and kind of without pressing us as much. And you know, that's on me. I've got to find a way to make my team flow better offensively. You know, we prepared so much for that press and tried to be conscious of not turning the ball over, that I think we kind of got stagnant when they didn't press us as much. We didn't flow as much, and we didn't play as aggressively. But there were also a lot of plays there for us to make that we just didn't make. I mean, there were layups to be made. There were free throws to be made. There were opportunities to take care of the basketball better and get great shots, and we just didn't do it. And that's something that I'm responsible for taking care of.
Bob Huggins' theory in terms of the free throw shooting, because obviously you guys shot 80% coming in, was that their press sort of wears on a team to where the final few minutes your legs aren't all there, and he thought that might be why you guys missed some free throws down the stretch. Is that something you buy too? Do you think that fatigue played a factor, or?
I mean, there may be some truth to that. I don't know. I've never really studied it. He's obviously been in this thing a lot longer than I have, so maybe there is. But I know that we practice free throws a lot, and obviously we haven't seen a team that pressures quite like them, but we've been pressured before. But in the second half, to go 11 for 19 is unacceptable.
Especially coming into the game, third in the country in free throw percentage. Does that frustrate you to the point where it's just, you said it's unacceptable? Is that just because?
Yeah, I mean, it's a free shot. It's the one time you got nothing, especially at home, to distract you. I mean, you're up there, you got to have courage and step up and make them. And we didn't do that. And again, all those things are things that I've got to get corrected as a coach. I've got to instill these guys the toughness to step up and shoot those free throws with confidence. We shoot them ad nauseum every day in practice, but obviously we're not doing it as well as we need to finish a game like this.
Coach, the first half, in the second game, the first 3 or 4 minutes, you guys played pretty well. What do you attribute that first half to?
I think we were locked in. I think we were focused. I think the guys were ready to play. Again, I'm biased. I think the team's a lot better than everybody else does. So I'm not surprised. I think everybody's surprised that we don't look horrible. I think that's kind of like what everybody's waiting. Like, why does this team not suck? And I don't buy into that. I think we're pretty good. I think we have a pretty good team. I love these guys. They work their asses off every day. And I'm proud of the effort. But, again, in this league, you can't just play hard. You got to play well. And even when you play well, that doesn't guarantee anything. You got to make winning plays, and we didn't do that today.
How much do you have to get your kids, the players, to buy into that? You can play almost a perfect game in this league, still not win.
I think that's a process. I think that's something that they learned today. Most games, when you play as well as we did for spurts in the first half, you may have a 10, 15-point lead, and it's a 3-possession game because the other team's really good, and they're not just going to go away. And then they can close the gap really quickly. And the one thing I did tell our guys is, if on Wednesday we're thinking about any possession in this game, the next one's just as tough. It's an 18-round heavyweight bout, like I said before. And we have to learn from this. We got to accept ownership on the outcome because we had a lot to do with it. Obviously, West Virginia won. And then we got to move on and get ready for the next one.
Baylor got smoked at Lubbock.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
By 24. And then Kansas, Texas right now is a 3-point game. This is a 2-possession game. It's just going to be it every night, pretty much.
Every night, man. You look at the numbers. I don't know how many years now. It's been the most competitive league in terms of close games, percentage of close games by far. And again, you got to prepare for this one, and then win or lose, you got to learn, and then you got to go get ready for the next one. And again, it starts with me. I've got to be better. I've got to have my team more prepared to handle certain situations during the game. And then because I'll get better, they'll get better.
In Coach Huggins' 13th game as a head coach, he got to play Tennessee Tech. In your 13th game, you get to play ball.
I'm assuming that the coach from Tennessee Tech didn't have 800-plus wins when they coached against me either. So.
In fact, he got 106 at the end of his run. But y'all seem to have a nice moment at midcourt when time is brought out. It doesn't matter it's none of my business what was said, but did he kind of convey a little bit of a welcome to the Big 12?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, all the coaches in this league have been very respectful of, my opportunity. They've all been here at some point. Like you said, his 13 games is a different opponent, but he had to say he's gone through it and he's learned. And I think they appreciate that our team is playing the game the right way, and that we're giving great effort, because it's one of the hardest things to do, especially as a new coach, as a young guy who people may not assume knows very much, to get guys to believe in what you're telling them. I think he just has an appreciation for that because he's been through it.
I think I just kind of did the math. The first 28 minutes, you guys have 30 points in the paint. That's where you're getting a lot of it. The last 12 minutes, 2 points in the paint. Is that a lack of aggression, do you think, down the stretch, or was it more of their doing?
Again, it's hard for me to say now without watching the film. I'll probably be able to answer that better next time we see each other. But I would guess part of it was they didn't press as much. There weren't as many easy opportunities on the back end. We did a really good job of, after we broke their press, continuing to attack. We didn't try to pull it out and run offense. Then when they took that off, they protected the basket a little bit better. They wasn't as spread out, and we didn't do a good job of flowing in the offense and creating those opportunities at the rim as we did before.
Why do you guys think you were so successful at limiting Javon Carter for most of the game? I think his 8 turnovers were a career high, all of that.
Again, I give the credit to my players. They were locked in. We told them he's the guy that makes them go. There's no question about it. He's an All-American for a reason. He's been a defensive player in this league. He does it on both ends of the court every single night. We knew we had to disrupt him to give ourselves a chance. And by disrupting him, we kept the rest of their team off balance as well for the most part. But again, we just didn't make enough plays, specifically on the offensive end, to win, and a really hard league to win in.
This is a weird Friday game for you. So what's the schedule for the weekend?
We get the benefit of an extra day of, I guess, preparation for the next one. So we'll have an opportunity to come in tomorrow and watch this film. We watch the film, win, lose, no matter what the outcome, no matter what the score, because there's always something to learn. And I don't know what we'll watch. I got to watch it first myself. And then there's that big holiday, New Year's Eve, which I think is like the worst holiday ever. Doesn't really mean anything, right? And then we got to get ready for the next game. So,
Who do y'all play next?
I think the other school in the state.
I just wanted to
Coach, last year, there's got like Javon when they played down the stretch. This year, there's so many different guys to score. Is it hard to find maybe that one guy to make a play, or is it good, but better to have several guys that can make plays for you?
I think it's an advantage, but that's my job from game to game. And obviously, I didn't do a good enough job in the second half of getting the right guys the shots to make them. I can't necessarily take blame for missing the free throws. I didn't miss them, but I have to have those guys prepared to do that as well. But I've got to do a better job of finding ways to, like Tavares was going today a little bit. He didn't get as many opportunities, and I've got to figure out a way to maximize when he's got it going like that.
So you haven't been doing this long. You haven't lost much, obviously. So how do you handle losses? I mean, do you just keep you up at night? Or even if you don't play particularly well?
Now, winning keeps me up at night. Everything keeps me up at night. I mean, that's just what you do here, man. It doesn't. It hurts to lose because you put so much into preparing to try to win. But I do understand that that's part of it. I mean, I don't know if there's an undefeated coach ever. Maybe somebody got fired after winning one game or something. But it's part of it. We've got to learn. And then again, I can't overthink this deal. Now on Wednesday, that team's going to be ready to play. They got the hottest dude in the country, and we got to figure out a way to be ready for that one.
When you all first started this game tonight, when it was the first 3 possessions and 3 turnovers, in that first timeout after that, what did you tell them? Was it kind of a moment like, this is West Virginia, this is how intense their defense was, or what were the guys kind of?
No, I mean, I don't remember exactly the turnover. We had too many of them. We had 21 of them, but I don't remember those 3 being because they were just like pressuring us. We kind of like were just sloppy and careless. I mean, because our defense was pretty solid, it didn't allow them to get away from us. So I tried to do what I always do, which is the team will react to me. And if I lose my mind, they'll feel a little bit more pressure. So I try to keep them focused. Hey, we still got, I think we had given up 5 offensive rebounds and had 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes. And obviously if we kept doing that, it would have been an ugly afternoon. But we fixed it because we got good players and guys who understand that they got to take ownership and play better.
And despite the loss, what is your view of OSU's defense in this game? Because they did force the most turnovers of West Virginia's had this season so far. And what's your view of that?
We fouled too much in the second half, and they didn't miss. And then they shot, obviously, a really high percentage. So we weren't nearly as good in the second half. We've got to be better for 44 minutes of basketball because in this league, if you don't, you're going to lose. It's really that simple. If you don't play well, you're going to lose in this league. There's nobody you can just kind of half-ass it through and figure out a way to win at the end. But we're not at that point because we don't have that kind of talent at this point to just go figure out a way to win even when we don't play well. So we've got to play well. We've got to take care of the ball. We've got to rebound. We've got to defend it. We've got to play unselfish. We've got to do all those things every night. And for the most part, our team has been bought into that up to this point, and I expect it to continue.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year, everybody.
Works holiday.